What if the world saw you as unworthy simply because you were different? Lot's story begins on the edge of a small, quiet town. A place where kindness often felt scarce. And in that town lived a tiny dog named Lot. From the very first day of his life, Lot was different. He was born without his two front legs, a congenital condition that shaped his life before it had even begun.
El unión de la mamá. A ver, ¿cuál es el? ¿Dónde está la manito de la mamá? A ver.
For Lot, every step forward was a struggle. Every movement was a challenge. And yet, the harshness of the world around him hurt even more than his physical limitations. People passed him by. Some stared, some ignored him, some even shooed him away. No one wanted to care for a dog who didn't look or move like the others. Lot lived in a world that had never shown him love. Can you imagine what that must have felt like? To want nothing more than warmth and affection, but to be met only with rejection. Lot's days were filled with silence and loneliness, but inside his little body lived a spirit that refused to give up. And one day, fate finally shifted. A kind-hearted passerby noticed Lot. There was something in his eyes, a quiet plea for help, for understanding. This person could not turn away. Instead, they reached out to a local rescue team known for helping animals who had nowhere else to turn. When the team arrived and saw Lot for the first time, their hearts broke. He was small, fragile, but there was a spark in him. The rescuer whispered as she lifted him gently, "You're not alone anymore." That moment changed everything. Lot was taken to a veterinary clinic for a full examination. The X-rays confirmed the truth. He had no front legs. This was not an injury that could heal with time. It was permanent. The vets explained the difficulties ahead. Caring for Lot would take round-the-clock effort. Without constant support, his chances of survival were slim. But the rescue team did not hesitate. They didn't see a hopeless case. They saw a life worth fighting for. And so began Lot's journey of healing. For the next 20 weeks, Lot lived under the devoted care of his rescuers. They fed him, comforted him, encouraged him. They celebrated every little step forward, no matter how small. Lot, who had once been rejected, was now cherished. For the first time in his life, he was surrounded by love. Every kind touch, every gentle word began to heal not only his body, but also his spirit. Day by day, something beautiful happened. Lot started to wag his tail. He began to trust. He even learned to smile. Though he was missing 2 legs, Lot never stopped trying. With patience and practice, he began learning how to move using only his hind legs. It wasn't easy. He stumbled, he fell, he grew tired. But each time, he got back up. And each time, his rescuers were there, cheering him on. Then came the moment they had been waiting for, a custom-made wheelchair built just for Lot. The first time he was placed into it, he stood frozen, unsure. But with gentle encouragement, he took one step, then another, and suddenly, he was moving, running even. Tears filled the eyes of everyone in the room. For the first time in his life, Lot wasn't dragging himself forward. He was gliding, moving freely, joyfully. It was like watching a miracle unfold. After weeks of care and patience, Lot had transformed. He was vibrant, healthy, full of life. Though his condition would never change, his future had. Lot's story began to spread. From the rescue team to veterinarians to strangers on the internet, people were touched by his courage. Messages of love and admiration poured in from all over the world. Everyone celebrated the little dog who had once been forgotten, but now symbolized hope, because Lot had proven something important. Being different does not make you less deserving of love. He showed us that with patience, care, and compassion, even the most fragile life can flourish. Today, Lot lives happily surrounded by people who adore him. He races joyfully in his wheelchair, plays in the sunshine, and knows, without a doubt, that he is loved. In a world that once turned its back on him, Lot became a symbol of resilience. He is proof that kindness has the power to transform lives, and that sometimes the greatest miracles come in the form of second chances. So, let me ask you, what would the world look like if we all chose to see beyond differences and offer love instead of rejection? If Lot's story touched your heart, please share it. Help us spread the message that no animal should ever be abandoned because of a disability. Together, we can build a world where every creature, no matter how different, is seen, valued, and loved, because love truly saves lives.
Está también tuyo.